Hello
Hello again.
again. How are you?
Everything and nothing. Yes, I'm
Nothing and
good.
everything.
Good to see you.
Good to
Been
see
a long
you.
time. Long
Yeah,
time.
very
Not long
long.
enough. No. No.
Not
It's
long enough.
oh no. It's oh, we're drinking water now, not a gallon of coffee and a gallon of coffee. Or when
Together,
it gets to be too long. Oh, sorry, I did that.
best buddies.
Yeah, right. Oh
Mm,
man. I don't want to say it, but I have to say it. I can't believe here we are. We're approaching the laborious day weekend, Labor Day weekend. And personally, I want to do a reset. I want to go back to Memorial Day, start the summer all over again. Summer is my favorite time,
mine
as
too.
as you all know, and maybe we've told our viewers, our listeners. And I really have to focus in terms of making this transition, uh, over the next month or so as we go into the other the other months. Um,
Yeah,
and you know, the older I get, the more I think I struggle with it. You know, um, you know, my wife Marion, she has this great mindset which I refuse to adopt, where she prepares. When it comes to be, the fall, I'm going to make my soups. I'm going to make special things, and that's great because she's a like you, she's a great cook.
right.
But she uses that to help her go through the Monday things about the holidays. And I'm like, no, 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 I can't. I don't want to talk about that. I can't think about this. No, you know.
Yeah,
And because I just like being outside. I like seeing green. I don't like seeing things die.
yeah.
Or dormant. I was looking outside, looking at all the green that I have out in the backyard. Um, but I've lived in this area all my life, pretty much, like you have for the most part.
Right.
As a kid, I just accept that's what I knew. It's like, you know, September you go to school, you
Yeah.
know, you have the holidays, and then you have the winter, and winter was getting out of school if you're fortunate. And then comes
Right.
spring, and then, then summer vacation, yay, and then repeat. Um, but where I am at this stage of my life, I think I have a snowbird deep inside of me that's longing to come out and fly and be free. I just give me spring and summer, and I'm
That's how
happy.
I feel. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I do love the fall weather because it still tends to be warm enough that you don't need a coat or any. Yeah, you might have a little sweater, you get a little chill in the air. I do love looking at the beauty of the oranges and the reds and the changing of the leaves. It's still fresh around that time. The smell in the air is different. It's good to breathe in the brisk, fresh air once in a while instead of just dealing with the heat or the summer, which I love. There's no doubt about it. I'm a summer person, but I do like the fall too. It's for me when it gets into the deep winter that I'm already depressed as it is, just because I love all of this and I love everything around me. If it just suck. I don't like the winter. And for me, it's the worst time, the worst holiday. I don't even want to think about it, is New Year's Eve. And once New Year's Eve comes, I don't know what to, but people say, oh, well, what you should do, and I've thought of this before. Figure out things to do to keep busy during the winter,
What is it about New
more
Year's that
activities.
particularly explain more about that? What is it about New Year's that hits you especially?
New Year's for me, it used to be a good time. I'm gonna cry. I don't know. I don't know. Um, I do feel a lot of loss with family.
Hmm.
Um,
That's big. That's huge, of course.
because you always, when I was a kid, you always remembered, everybody would sit around the at the couch or whatever, and we'd
Mm,
wait 10, 9, everybody. It was wonderful. You kissed those who you love. You were happy. And
yeah.
I'm happy. I'm still alive. I'm still here. Um, watching Dick Clark was a big thing. He
Yeah.
was New Year's Eve,
Yeah.
1000%. I don't see it as exciting.
Yeah.
I'd rather watch the reruns of him doing it.
You're right.
Um, and then as you get a little older, back in the day we had parties. We used to rent a hall. Everybody would pay a certain amount a couple, $50 a couple. We had a
Right.
DJ, we had everything, and that was
Right.
cheap. And we had a blast. You were with family, you were with friends, friends of friends. The more people that came, the more you could buy, the liquor, and it was fun. And um it's funny because you would think that would be a great time for me to remember, which I can't explain it, and I don't want people to take it the wrong way. Um, when we went to one of the parties around the time that I started dating Tommy, um, uh, I almost didn't show up to one of the parties, and everybody made fun of me. And oh, now you're not going to come. His mom actually said, "Oh, why? Because my son is coming now. You're not going to go." And I just was like, whatever. Anyway, I went. And Tommy was burning with 104 fever. And he
Hmm.
actually showed up anyway because he wanted to ask me to be his girlfriend.
Hmm.
And he did. He was throwing his guts up, but he got
He was
dressed
he
up.
was burning with love,
He yeah, well, um,
burning with something.
yeah, he was burning for me. Um, And he did, and I'll never forget that. And it was a nice night, and he asked me to be his girl, so everybody made a big deal out of it.
So
The
you said
same,
yes after he heaved his guts on you.
yeah. Um, Once, well, I threw up on him too. No, what? No. But he also uh asked me to marry him on New Year's Eve.
Same time?
A few years later, in front of my family, whatever. So it was,
Right.
back then it was kind of still special to me.
Right.
I can't take, like, you can't face the fact, like, I can't, like, I don't want summer to be over. I
Yeah.
don't. I love feeling that feeling. I love that smell in the air. I want to go by the beach. I want to go by the
Yeah.
water. When
Yeah.
New Year's Eve comes, it hits me very hard. The older I'm getting more seasonal depressed, more
Right.
and more. I
It's
can't
a
deal
real
with it.
thing. This is a question we should pose to our viewers and listeners. Do you get seasonal affective disorder? How does the change of seasons affect you, particularly summer going into the autumn and then winter?
Ooh.
Is it a real struggle for you, or do you breeze through it?
No,
You
I
know,
mean, it depends. There was just I don't remember, not that long ago, because me and you always talk about this, how we both love summer and how we don't get to go, or you don't really get to see the ocean as much as you'd like
no,
to.
my
And
happy place. I don't get to it as much as I want. I would like to, in the future, but it hasn't worked out that way. And it's one of the things that really nurtures me, in my soul, and makes me feel great. And I'm trying to be better at it, because being inside. Plus, I work from home.
right.
You know, my wife does it as well. So, um, she works on one side of the house, I work on the other, and we meet in the middle. Hi, how are you? Good to see you. All right, see you later. And we just kind of pass like
That's the traffic, time of traffic.
two ships in the hallway. Hey, good to see you. Hey, great, great. Hey, yeah. No, name again is don't tell me. Um, but being trying to be more creative, trying to work on music and things like that, and trying to do some writing. Those things have helped, keep my mind, more engaged in something that's interesting to me. You know, but it's still a struggle, because I want to be outside. I don't want to be, I'm inside all the time in those cold months, and I tend not to, you know, obviously be as active. You slow down, what to me, which is the bigger part, is to the turning the clocks.
Yeah.
the daylight savings time. I think
The
they should do
darkness
away with.
hits at 4:30 in the afternoon, and it's like,
Another question: should we
that.
do away with that? I say yes. Two hands up.
Yes,
We're not
100%.
farmers.
Listen, it's not that it's going to turn around and be light out just because we decided not to change the clocks.
No, but
There is a difference with the time frame as the
yeah,
month pass.
it's so dark. Dark at 5 o'clock. And then it's like, and then it's cold. You put dark and cold. You put those two things together, and you have a
It's a
recipe
death
for
trap. It's to me, it's like I just
be
want to
drinking.
lay down and die at that point. I can't.
So,
It's
you know,
true. It's just
write your
it's
congressman. Tell them enough of this. We gotta improve some things here. There's some of these obsolete laws and customs. They gotta go. You know.
well, it does, but does anybody really listen? And it's sad
Yeah,
because you look at the date and you go, I feel like we just hit June 1st.
yeah,
And I'm like, wait a minute, it was just August 1st. Wait a minute, we had the 4th of July. And for
yeah.
me, this year, as you know, personally, I didn't do nothing. We did go away to Lancaster 2 weeks ago. Last minute decision, something I didn't plan on doing.
Hmm.
It was beautiful to be there because it's just a different atmosphere. I did get to spend 2 days in the pool. I did get sun. And I did get a nice huge herpes on the top of my lip. It's just starting to, I have a little makeup on it fading off, but um
Waiter, check, please. Sorry.
well, yeah, I mean those 2 days getting to be by the pool, and it wasn't even a full day. It
Right.
was just like, and yeah, there's other people
It was
around.
so nice, though. It was so
It was
refreshing.
nice.
Yeah,
It was just something that I needed, and
yeah,
I really rather have been by the beach, but being by the pool, and I'm uncomfortable. A lot's happened to me this year, the weight gain, and I'm not buying clothes, and I just don't like the way I feel at all. It's a bunch of stuff that I'm going through, and it's not like me not to say, all right, I don't care. I'm just gonna go to the park and I
yeah,
mean, even a couple of years ago, I was like, when I started driving, I was like,
yeah,
I don't know if I could take the highway and go to the beach. I don't know if I want to stay there by myself. So I went
right,
to the park where everybody lays out. And I
yeah,
enjoyed it. Couple of hours, came home, and I didn't
yeah,
even do that. I'm at the point where I'm not doing nothing.
yeah.
And that's not me, especially during the summertime. I make do to do something.
Right.
And to be honest with you, I can't. There's so many physical things that I'm like, I can't even go out for a walk. I'll go outside and I'll take the dog maybe and let's go around the block. By the time I get to the corner, I'm in pain and I'm like, see, I
Yeah,
don't like this. This
yeah.
is not me. I don't care if I'm heavy or not. There's so many other issues coming along with this that it's
Yeah, you have a
stopping
lot going
me.
on. Yeah, there's more things that have developed, and it's yeah, it can be so overwhelming. And again, with the whole thing dovetailing with the weather, and this change, it takes more. I think demands more of us to try to work through it and find other ways to because go back to gratitude, count my blessings. I'm here.
Yeah. Right.
I'm not in some hospital.
Right.
I just got over COVID. Which I'm not happy about. My wife, I gave it to my wife, unfortunately. We share everything. Um, but after all this time, I managed to dodge it, but I finally got it. And luckily, the knock on wood, the symptoms were light for both
Right.
of us. But it again showed me a few things about my daily life, my lifestyle, and how I go about my day, and again, as you often say, how to better take care of ourselves, and we joke
Right.
about each other about
We
how we
joke,
take
but
care. What do I do about it? When I was quarantined, for 3 days in my own house, my wife wouldn't let me out of the closet, but I finally came out of the closet. Oh no, uh, but we're here. We're here.
I'm looking at some quotes, and one of them I think of you, and it's like it says, August slipped away like a bottle of wine.
Wine. Sorry. Uh, that's another thing. Yeah, I had to stop drinking of all the meds. They had me on 17 meds, and you know, and I'm like, so but Doc, can I still drink on this? And he looked at me like,
Are you
serious?
for real?
And I'm like, yeah, I'm serious. And he goes, how much do you drink? I said, enough. Now answer my question. No, but
That's what I was just gonna say. Enough.
listen, Dr. Kill Patient, just let's get down to it here, you know. Get off
It's
my lap.
summertime.
No.
I need to drink.
But so if I was obviously if I was single, I'd be mixing the meds with the alcohol. I don't care. You know, that's part of
But
my
if you
problem.
were single and we were friends, I would be bitching and moaning. I would be yelling at you.
You'd be like, "Did you drink last night?" I'd be like,
I would actually come
"No."
to your apartment and go, "Hi, how are you?" Go find all your liquor, put it in a bin, take it out until the fucking 7 days were up, just so you wouldn't drink. I'm actually proud of you that you held your to your. I mean, although I'm not there, I don't know if you snuck a sip. I don't
I did
know.
not. No,
I don't
I did
even
not.
believe you anymore.
And honestly, I did. I decided even though I could go off it now, I finished 2 out of the 3 meds. In actuality, I'm not. I took more meds this morning. Oh, hi, sweetheart. Hi, beautiful. So I will continue till end of the week because I'm a
All
trooper.
right.
Oh, look at the baby. Hi, precious.
Say
Hi,
hi.
sweetheart.
Say
Oh,
hi. Say hi.
uh, what a beautiful
She's
baby.
she's gonna miss summer too, but we're gonna see
Yeah.
how she reacts during the winter with her little walks outside because
Yeah.
that's one of
What a
the
beauty.
reasons why I put my air condition on early.
Yeah.
Shockingly enough, we were comfortable.
Yeah.
She was panting in the house, and I was like,
No,
usually
good.
it goes by their pause. So I had
Yeah.
put the air condition on for her, and it
Yeah.
calmed her down a lot. So I
Oh,
was
yeah.
like, oh,
Lovely Lily. Yeah.
but go ahead, because she wants to play. I'm sorry.
Yeah. What is, nah, sweetheart. I'm
She
surprised Tangy hasn't been climbing over the
I
computer here.
know. I was
He's
waiting to see
sleeping.
his
Yeah.
little head and hear him meowing.
Yeah. Yeah. He's hanging in. 20 years old. Good boy.
God bless
Um,
him.
so yeah, and this is the question for this podcast, seasonal affective disorder. Yeah, how do you deal with it? Do you have it? Or maybe you're a winter fan. I got
Right.
friends that just love they're skiers, they just,
Oh, without a
they turn
doubt.
into, abominable, snowmen and, move to Alaska. Um,
Well, it's
but
stop. When I put up stuff on Facebook or whatever about the summer or the beach or a little beach chat, whatever it
yeah,
is, I have friends that'll go, "Oh no, hate it. Can't wait for the snowfall." And I'm like, "Listen, it's one thing to say you want the winter or the cold weather, but to hear about snow, hell no. See, I
storms,
can't
and
deal with
it's
that
very
either."
different. And I love when people say, "Oh, because when you're cold, you could always put another coat on or a sweater, you get warmer." And I'm like, no, I'm opposite. When the cold gets in my bones,
You can't get that chill
I
out.
don't get warm.
Yeah.
Um, but when I get hot, I can find ways. I mean, I'll still sweat. I'd rather sweat than
Right.
freeze, but
Right.
as I always say, but I can find better ways to, for me
And
to
me
cool off.
too. Like you don't mind that. And I could see that. Me as a woman, sweating is just a part of it. If I'm busy, I'm gonna sweat anyway. But when I'm dressed, I've told you this, if I'm
Yeah,
putting makeup on and doing my hair and getting all dressed and I have to walk outside and the humidity hits me,
right.
I'm like, what the frick did I even bother doing this for? Because makeup is smearing. I can't even, like, my hair is getting all
You
wilty and
wilt, yeah, exactly.
you
Well,
look like shit. By the time I go outside, I look like I went from this to like a dragged out dog. And I'm
you're
like,
like,
oh
what
my
is
God.
that?
But
You know,
it's the truth though. Women will say that. Even as much as I love summer, I don't like 98% humidity on top of 100 degrees.
right. I
It's
get it.
not
I
good.
get it. Yeah.
And I get
I
very
got,
tired.
yeah.
Very, very tired. You said you don't feel that way.
No,
A
I get
lot of
tired in the
people
cold. When it's cold,
A
I
lot
start
of people,
yawning.
I ask them the question about how they feel between winter, fall, or spring and summer. And a lot of people agreed with me. The heat, because it does something to the body, it makes us more tired.
It's
Where
weird. I'm the
during the
opposite.
fall
Yeah.
weather,
Hmm.
I look forward to sitting home more, making different types of meals, oven dinners, and you could do certain things like Marion, like she loves soups, and I
Yeah.
like to make the roast, and there's certain meals I like to have during the winter time. It makes the house smell nice. And then I like cozying up on the couch and watching some movies or whatever. I don't mind that part of it,
Yeah.
but it doesn't make me tired. Where the summer, I'm like, I
Yeah, I'm
can't.
just the opposite. When I get cold, I shut down, and
Well,
I just want to go to sleep, and plus, again, like we talked before about when it's dark, it's like dark and it's cold, and
right. And it's confusing to the body because it's like it's dark out. Am I supposed to go to sleep? But
yeah,
I that doesn't phase me. I mean, I feel like I want to, but I just never do. But it's you know what it is. It's people go through certain things. Everybody loves a certain time of the year. Um,
I think the question we put up for discussion is, well, how do you make it, how do you make the most of it? How do you make it, you know, work for you, given what you like and
right,
don't like?
right.
If you love the winter, but you live where there's summer, 3, 4 months more of the year, how do you deal with that? Just stay inside? I know people that just live inside the air conditioning
Yes, right.
all the time.
That's something that Tommy would do. He can't deal with the heat.
The heat,
So
yeah,
he needs to be around cold air. He'll take 500 showers because he can't
yeah,
stand sweating and he just hates
right,
that feeling.
yeah. I
Me,
know people that just have to have
no,
the air on all the time. Yeah.
right,
Um, I I I dislike it. I'd rather actually have the windows open with fans blowing. That's how I grew up. When I grew up, we didn't have air conditioning for a long time, and I never really missed it. Yeah, it was warmer in the house. I mean, but it wasn't oppressive. Because we had the airflow.
right.
I grew up with fans, but yeah, I thinking about, here we are. It's going to be Labor Day, and I think I'm getting a little more relaxed about it, instead of really getting like, man,
Crazy.
I didn't do enough this summer, and how could I do that? And not beating myself up about it. I'm here. Count my blessings. I'm grateful. We're doing our podcast again, and I'm loving it.
Right.
Happy we're doing this, and
Me
you
too.
know we'll get through it. And I can make more plans for next year. I can plan things to do over the months that are ahead. Maybe some creative things, and we'll be doing our podcast, hopefully, more consistently now, every 2 hours, on the hour. And
And
then,
I'm looking at another quote, and it says, "One must maintain a little bit of summer, even in the middle of winter." And I think that's really cute, and that's something that
yeah,
we should take with us, but it's hard. And that's why, like you
yeah,
said, what do people do? If you're like us and love the summer so much, or the spring, summer, and are heading into the winter where it depresses you or makes you feel horrible, how do you cope with it? What do you do to
mm,
change your mood to let the time go by?
yeah,
And another thing, yes, there are many things and projects people could do, but a lot of things could cost money. Not everybody has that. There's a
yeah,
lot of things I would love to do, but I don't have the money, the means to do it.
yeah,
So it's that you put yourself in more of a trap by saying, okay.
yeah.
And I listen, I thought about this too. I've been watching a lot of people do videos, and a lot of people doing videos on cooking. And yeah, I'm a baker, but I haven't baked in a while because I just
And a
haven't
cook. You're a good cook.
mindset.
Very good cook.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm nobody special, but I look at that and I always enjoyed having company and
Mm,
cooking for my company. And
yeah,
even when I was losing weight, there was something about keeping me busy. I didn't look to eat as much, even though I was cooking everything I loved.
yeah,
I still managed to have everything I wanted, but I didn't overindulge because I had company. I had
right,
something to do,
yeah,
something to look forward to.
hmm,
I don't have that anymore. I haven't had that in years.
yeah,
So I say to myself, do I put myself in a position to make cooking videos? Because it seems to keep people busy.
yeah.
Um,
That's a
and
great idea.
put it out there. I don't know. Like I'm
Yeah.
just throwing it out. I've done it before a while back ago. I've done it, here and there
I could be
sporadically,
your online taste tester. I could taste, virtually.
virtually.
I'm
Um,
trying that right now.
Right. And that's,
Yeah,
and that's another thing. I see a husband and wife doing things together. Tommy's not a cook at all. And he doesn't eat a lot of things that I make. So if I'm going to be making this stuff, that's the problem.
yeah.
You have to spend money. So what am I doing with
What are you
it?
gonna do with the food? Yeah, right. Yeah,
Right. And if he's not going to taste it, like I would like an opinion. And so it
right.
kind of throws me off a little bit like, no, it's another thing I can't do. So it's something I got to think about.
You know what would work? Maybe, invite some of your friends. Have
Nobody
them.
comes anymore. Yeah, I'm limited on friends, to be honest. I know I have a lot of people that I talk with.
Yeah.
I'm at a place where there's just certain um I don't know. I don't know how to
It's
say it.
hard. You talked before about, you don't have a lot of family. I don't have any family. They're all gone.
I mean, I have my family, but they tend to stay where they are,
Well,
and
it'd be either if they're not with you, either because of they can't or they're just not able to, whatever reason,
right. I mean, and
there's
they
still
have
that
like there's tons of kids
missing.
now, and I don't have the space for it. Nobody wants, I don't want to, everybody has a house. I don't have a house. And it's really, I mean, I don't mind. I'll have 100 people in here. You just make room where you have, but
Yeah.
not everybody's comfortable in that position. And I don't want to
Yeah.
put anybody in an uncomfortable position.
Right.
I have big furniture in small spaces, so it's like, whatever. I mean, I don't care. I would have the world here. And they know that. So,
Right.
but regardless, one thing doesn't have to do with another. I'm just trying to figure out things. I've painted before to keep my
Yeah.
mind busy. I've been
Yeah.
making silly videos, which I haven't done in a while because I just don't have the head for it. But yes, there are multiple things that we could try to do to keep our mindset off of bad things
And you're trying
or
different things.
problems.
Yeah.
And yeah, saying them and doing them are two different things. I could say a bunch of shit, but we got to force ourselves to do it. And we got to embrace the fact that whether we did something this summer or not, it came and it went.
We
And
move on. We move forward.
yeah, and they, you look forward to, listen, we have to look forward to every day because life is too short, and we
Yeah.
have to be blessed that we're still here to talk about
Yeah.
it. And that's it. I mean,
You
summer
brought
is
up again
over.
a
We'll have
point.
something to look forward to next year.
You brought up a point again. I think I was telling I had an idea for another short story, and I'm not going to go into it right now, but I'm still trying to formulate it in my mind. But just a recent number of people post on Facebook. A lot of times there's a tragic death of somebody,
Right.
and there just were a couple of them right in a row. I got to tell you about this, earlier, just in the week.
Right.
And actually, and also an unexpected death from somebody that I went to high school with, actually, who was a neighbor down the street. We just had
That's
our 45th reunion like a week
right.
or two ago. So it was kind of odd, the timing of that. But all these just, unexpected or even tragic deaths. And of course, they happen every day,
Yeah.
you know, all over the world, not just in New Jersey. Um, but and I've experienced, tragic deaths in my family, even from a younger age, which was, I think, something that molded my life personality at a young age. I experienced death very early on, but not to go into a long thing. But the point is,
Yeah.
wow, you said, again, life is precious, life is fragile, life is short. And I've said those things, I've heard those things, but the older I get, and I think it's all with the seasons too, it kind of ties in together,
Sure, because
seasons, life, the cycles of life, life, death, rebirth, it's all connected. And it may sound, corny or silly to some, but I take more pleasure in listen to the birds,
yeah.
things that I just would never, looking at the sky, looking at the trees, the flowers, looking at the, so, um, it's like vibrate with life. That's the
Yeah.
kind of thing, be with what is, for me, my biggest challenge, I spend so much time in my head,
Mm-hmm.
so much in my head. It's the story I'm telling myself. It's the narrative that I'm creating that usually causes most of the stress.
Yeah.
It's like
For
pain
everybody,
is
I think.
pain is what happens to me. Suffering is what I do to myself,
Right. Right.
about what
Right. We
happens,
all do, though. You're not the
Yeah,
only one.
right.
And we
I'm just
know
talking about
this.
me, what I can try to do better, and so it's like the cycles of life, and like with this short story I'm thinking about writing, it's like it's something that connects to, there's lessons for me to learn in this life every single day if I
Yeah.
open my mind and open my eyes and my ears and be open to it, and cultivate more gratitude because God knows I could be the most depressed person I know.
And well,
I don't want
so
to be
can
that
I.
way.
So don't feel bad. And I again, I've been really bad the past few days, even more so than ever, crying. I'm a mess. And a lot of people wouldn't know it if you see me on like now, like you wouldn't say, "Oh, she looks okay. She don't look depressed." Well, you forget how you are when you're not going to be miserable 24 hours a day, but for the most part, you got to make like I'm here. I'm not going to cry throughout the whole video, but um just over the weekend, my friend, Millie, sent me a text that she had gotten an alert that there was a bad car accident that
Mm,
killed um I think two people, if I'm not mistaken. And one of the guys that was killed because of a wrong they were in not they were in the wrong lane, the other people were in the wrong lane and went head on, whatever, just killed them. And the kid was getting married on Saturday or
okay, was
Sunday.
getting married.
He got killed, and the next day he was getting married. So instead of the family and his bride to be that were planning a wedding for God knows how long
Hmm.
and couldn't wait, and I think of her, and I think of her, I think of him.
Yeah.
The accident wasn't his fault, wasn't their fault. They got killed instantly. And you're planning a wedding, and tomorrow, she's out thinking, "Oh my God, I'm going to be a bride. I'm getting married to
Right.
the man of my dreams." And
Right. Yeah.
meanwhile, somewhere along that thinking and feeling, he's dead.
Yeah.
So I heard that the family actually, um, the day of the wedding, they actually were throwing white balloons in the air.
Uh,
And instead of planning the wedding, they were actually freaking planning the funeral.
yeah.
And you can't even, you say to yourself, and here it is,
Yeah.
I'm depressed.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, and real quick, we got to close. But one of the
Life is
stories
too
that
short.
got me is this 17-year-old girl, uh, a county away from here, going to school first day in the car with her brother, bunch of other kids in the car, 7:30 in the morning, three-car accident. She's a
Oh,
passenger. She gets killed first day of school.
oh God, I can't
Just
even.
starting, you know, uh, you know,
I can't even imagine how the
part
parents
of life.
feel.
Yeah, exactly. So again, we all hear these stories. Yes, life is precious. Yes, there are seasons to life. There's grief, there's loss, there's happiness, there's joy, there's peace, there's struggle. Um, Trying to make more the most. They're trying to be more aware. Maybe I'm trying to use the seasons to teach me more how to, you know, have more meaning in the cycles of life, even the ones that I don't care for. So that's something that we can talk about again. So, um, thank you, thank you
Thank you.
for sharing this with me, and I enjoy
No,
this with you.
thank
Thank
you.
you for our viewers, our listeners. Please feel free to comment, share. Let's create more of a dialogue on the things that we're talking about, and we
Right.
will see you again soon.
And give us some ideas on what you would like to talk about. And when
Please,
we end this
yes,
conversation, I will say a fallen leaf is nothing more than a summer's wave. Goodbye.
I love that. Oh, that's great. All right, we'll see you later.
Enjoy. All right.